Welcome back, everyone. Pretty much every year, the Lakers sign a player who has been given up on by a majority of the league, and more often than not, they find a way to completely turn that player's career around. With limited funds for free agency, they'll definitely be bargain shopping, which often includes picking up another reclamation project. At this point, it seems they enjoy doing it, and I must admit, I kind of like it too. How could you not root for a guy who once had high expectations but is now a bit down on his luck? That, to me, is one of the best parts of sports. With how good they have been at this, I think a lot of free agents have been taking notice too. It definitely helps that they have a connection via Rich Paul and his agency, but it's really become a part of who the Lakers are. With that in mind, let's take a look at a few reclamation projects that could be within their price range, which, if you did not know, is only about $5 million. Yeah, not very much to work with. Before we get too far into it, though, if you're looking for a place to talk about the NBA playoffs with other NBA fans or even vent about the Lakers, then don't forget to check out our NBA Discord. We have a live game chat, a daily discussion board, and much, much more. Or if you don't have Discord, feel free to follow me on Twitter to hear my thoughts on everything NBA related. There will be links for both of them in the video description down below. But without further ado, let's dive right into it. For project player number 1, we'll take a look at KJ Martin, son of former NBA player Kenyon Martin. If he would like people to stop bringing up his dad before him, then he would have to find a team to unlock his full potential, which he definitely has plenty of. At only 23 years old, he still has time to do it. The only problem is that he might not get any more shots to do it. After all, the NBA gives up on you pretty quickly if you're not a great three-point shooter or at least really good at one thing in particular. Up until this point, KJ Martin has only shown flashes. He can be a really good defender, being able to knock down three-point shots at a 35% clip, and even generate his own offense. But he's never been able to do it on a regular basis. What I would like to see him do is buy into becoming an Aaron Gordon-type player. He might be a little smaller than Aaron Gordon, but he definitely has the same, if not even better, athletic ability. That could allow him to become a much better defender than he has been up until this point. If he could make a fraction of the impact on defense that Aaron Gordon makes, he could find a niche in the NBA. Because unlike Gordon, Martin has shown the ability to become an effective spot-up shooter. And if he could become good at even those two things alone, that would make him a really good role player. And even apart from all that, can you imagine the alley-oops that he would throw down while playing for them? With all the attention that LeBron and Anthony Davis draw, that often gives role players like him a wide-open backdoor cut to the rim. Well, that could be a whole lot of fun to watch. But now, moving on to project player number 2, and here we have Boban Marjanovic. After not getting much of an opportunity to play during his first few years in the NBA, he got more of an opportunity to show what he can do during years 4 and 5. And while he did remain rather inconsistent, I think he showed growth. I mean, there's really no doubting what the guy can do offensively at this point. The way he can move at 7 feet 4 inches can only be replicated by one other player, with that being Victor Oladipo. And not only move on the court, but knock down a three-point shot too. Boban is coming off the best three-point shooting year of his young career, knocking down 42.3% of his shots from beyond the arc. I'll be with him only attempting 52 of them. But regardless, I think that showed what he can do if given the opportunity. However, the final piece for him to become a reliable role player is improving on defense. I don't think there's any doubt about his ability to make an impact. It's all about him figuring out how to do it consistently, and then, of course, making the commitment to doing it. And if he could ever figure out how to become a home defender like a Bam Adebayo, or even a fraction of that, then Boban will become incredibly valuable. And whatever team is able to bring that out of him will have a hidden gem on their hands. Could that be the Lakers? Who knows? But I would not be entirely shocked to see them try it, especially if Jackson Hayes were to leave their team. But now, moving on to number 3, and here we have Cam Reddish. He might come back to their team through his player option, whether they want him to or not. So I thought I would throw him in. With him not having as strong of a year, I imagine that he will be opting into that contract. And I'm a little bit conflicted on what to do with him. On one hand, he had a great first few months of the year, being a borderline lockdown defender for them prior to getting hurt, and even showing a little bit of three-point shooting improvement. While doing it, though, unfortunately, the old Cam Reddish came back after that. He once again began dealing with reoccurring injuries, along not being as committed on defense during the second half of the year compared to the first half, even when he was available to play. Another problem here is that he often blocked a pathway to playing time for Max Christie, a guy that many should have been playing over him due to being a more reliable three-point shooter. And with this severe lack of playing time that Christie got, that might even lead to Christie not wanting to come back to their team. On the other hand, though, I think a different coach might be able to properly utilize both of them and within the same rotation too. And with Cam Reddish being fairly young yet at only 24 years old, there is plenty of time for him to become a reliable role player. Though if I did have to choose between them, I would have to pick Christie over him for the long term. But now, moving on to project player number 4, and here we have former Laker Lonnie Walker. Now, I know I'm kind of cheating here as Lonnie Walker is not a true reclamation project. But then again, he did take a step backward rather than forward after leaving their team. Not really in regard to numbers, but definitely in regard to both playing time and money, which are two of the biggest factors for a young player. I mean, he already fell out of the Nets rotation for a little bit, only playing in 58 total games despite being healthy for a majority of all 82. And not to mention playing for a pretty bad team. And well, I imagine that'll lead to him wanting a new home, which might be one that he's already familiar with. After all, he definitely did not leave due to LeBron or Anthony Davis, let alone even guys like Austin Reeves, all of which he thoroughly got along with. The rumored problem for him happened to be Darvin Ham. But now, with him being gone, Lonnie Walker might want to come back. And well, they already know what they'll be getting from him too. A spark plug off the bench, a really good three-point shooter. And then, not to mention, one of the best vertical leapers in the entire league. And with him very likely being available for a minimum level contract or somewhere near it, I think they would be dumb not to at least reach out to him. And with his agent still being Rich Paul, LeBron's best friend, if you're not aware, I imagine they'll be in close contact. The only problem is how much playing time they would have to offer him. We don't know if Cam Reddish will be back, and the same can be said for a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie, let alone even Max Christie, another guy that should be prioritizing. And I think it will all depend on how that turns out. Lonnie Walker would be a great pickup for them, but I doubt he would come back without an obvious role waiting for him. And with that in mind, now moving on to our 5th and final reclamation project. And here we have former number 2 overall pick, James Wiseman. The literal definition of a reclamation project. Wiseman might be headed to his 3rd team in 4 years. Definitely not a good thing for a number 2 overall pick. But due to a combination of injury, along with simply being a raw talent, he has not been able to gain the full trust of either team that he's played for. Now, I think that Detroit will probably keep him around for 1 more year, but I guess you never know. And if the Lakers have to or even want to replace one of Christian Wood, Jackson Hayes, then maybe a guy like Wiseman would be the guy to do it with if he's available. I mean, there's no doubt about his ceiling. Many people thought he would turn into an 18 and 10 kind of guy at the very least, with some people even comparing him to Anthony Davis coming out of the 2020 draft. And while that very likely will not be happening, he definitely does have some untapped potential. I, for one, happen to be curious in what he would look like while playing for a good team, and one that does not revolve their entire offense around three-point shooting, which the Lakers definitely do not. But regardless of if it would be them or not, I'm really hoping that Wiseman will eventually find his footing with a team. But with all of that being said, what do you guys think? Which reclamation project would you like to see the Lakers go after? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. That will do it for this video, though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day.